Hi, my name is Derek Franklin, and I'd like to invite you to watch this entire video where I'm going to reveal to you three main things. First of all, how to rewire your brain for awesomeness. Now, contrary to what you may believe, reading a library full of books and attending a lifetime of seminars that teach you how to change and experience more success in your life, that has very little to do with the actual process of creating changes in your life. Next, I'm going to show you what the world's best athletes, musicians, and writers do daily to achieve excellence that you probably don't. I mean, there's a reason that they're the best in the world, and natural talent is just a small part of it. Ask any of them, and they'll tell you that this is their secret weapon for achieving world-class results. And third, I'm going to show you a simple 7-step process that creates powerful changes in your life naturally, without willpower. This is how you create real, lasting change, more clarity, more action, and more awesome results in any area of your life. And the great thing is, it happens naturally and intuitively due to subtle shifts in your thinking and behavior. But first, let's talk about why change is so hard and the simple 7-step solution for making it happen. And I'd like to begin by sharing with you a simple but proven truth. And that is that you will never change your life until you change what you do on a daily basis. Let me read that again. You will never change your life until you change what you do on a daily basis. This means that if you have a desire for excellence, to grow and improve or take more action and get awesome results in any area of your life, then every day you're going to have to do things differently than what you're doing right now. So let's talk about why, despite a lot of time and effort you probably spend trying to do this, positive changes like this seem to be so hard to achieve. I mean, there is a reason for it. Then I want to walk you through a simple 7-step process for creating this kind of change using something that I call a clarity map, which we'll talk a little bit more about in detail shortly. But first, let's look at what you're doing right now and the results that you're getting. Chances are, like most people, you have a strong desire to change and improve some area of your life or business for the better. I mean, you want to feel and see success in your life more often than you do right now, right? And because you were never shown a better way, this is probably your process for doing this. First, you consume. You read every success-related book you can. Probably lots of books, like the ones shown here. You go to expensive seminars, you follow experts online, you read blogs and other articles, and you consume everything and anything that you think will improve your life at some level. And while you're reading and learning, you're probably spending a lot of time underlining ideas and strategies that you want to remember, and taking pages of notes about the key points that you think will make a difference in your life, and bookmarking sites and articles that contain information that you want to have in your own personal success arsenal. And then you wait, waiting for these positive changes that you've been promised to kick in, waiting for all these great ideas and strategies that you've learned to finally make your life better. I mean, after all, you have learned a lot, right? But what happens? Well, unfortunately, not much. Not much at all. So after nothing in your life gets better, what do? Well, you start consuming more, right? I mean, surely your lack of results was because you simply just didn't read the right books or attend the right seminar or something like that. So you consume more and more and more. More books, more seminars, you just more and more. And then you take more notes. Maybe the problem is that you just didn't underline the right ideas or enough ideas, or that you didn't take the right notes. So you pour yourself into doing more of this time around. And what do again? Well, you do some more waiting. Something has got to change now, right? I mean, you put all this time and effort into learning what you need to do, and it's time to finally see some real results in your life. But what happens? Well, pretty much the same thing as before. Not much. And what's going to happen over time? Well, you're going to continue going nowhere. You're going to continue wasting your time and doing the same thing over and over, year after year, with little to no results. Or you may eventually convince yourself that changing your life for the better just isn't possible and you're going to give up completely. Or you're going to feel just like a loser, right? Your constant struggle to change is going to leave you frustrated, overwhelmed, and you're going to begin to doubt your own ability to do something great with your life. Now notice how none of these outcomes include actually achieving success. That's because when it comes to creating real, lasting changes in your life, this process of consuming, taking notes, and waiting, consuming, taking notes, and waiting, it doesn't work. Ever. So what's missing? What's preventing you from creating the changes that you want and seeing some awesome results? Well, it's not your desire, right? You wouldn't be spending a lot of your valuable time, energy, and resources on trying to achieve better results if you weren't serious about it, right? And it's not that it's impossible. You either know someone personally who is in control of their life and the results they get, or you've probably heard of people who have this ability. So it's not impossible. And it's definitely not a lack of knowledge. You've read a ton of books, you've attended some seminars maybe, you've taken great notes, you underline stuff in your books, you read your share of articles online, you've watched a lot of videos online. So what in the world is it? What's the key that's going to change everything? Well, it comes down to two important truths. And the first one is that knowledge without action is virtually worthless. Okay? Knowledge without action is virtually worthless. And the next truth is that small things done consistently create huge results. You see, you may have read a lot of books and attended some seminars or whatever, and you may have a lot of knowledge in your head, but knowledge isn't enough. You need to take action on what you know in order to learn and experience any benefit from it. Okay, and the best way to do this is to take action in small ways on a daily, consistent basis. In other words, you need a daily success routine. Aristotle, who is a great thinker, once said that we are what we repeatedly do. And then he went on to say that excellence then is not an act, but a habit. Now, while the entire quote reveals an important truth, notice the last two words in the first sentence of that quote. Repeatedly and do. This is what a daily success routine is all about, combining the knowledge, skills, and actions that promote excellence and getting you to repeatedly do something with them on a daily basis. And what effect will doing this have on you? Well, a daily success routine will consistently expose you to the ideal vision you have designed for your life so that you remain clear about the direction that you want to go and all your decisions and actions are in alignment with that vision. It will remind you of the principles and strategies that you want to live by so you always act like and eventually become the person that you want to be. It'll put you in a state where you think and feel in powerful new ways so that you slowly prepare and train your mind and your body for a new level of excellence and results. And it will push you to take action in small ways so you consistently experience forward motion towards your goals and outcomes. Now the bottom line is that a daily success routine creates profound changes in your life. So the question comes up, well, how do you go about creating and using a daily success routine? Well, it can be pretty overwhelming to think about, actually. Not only do you have to think about when and how to do it, but also all the elements that it should include. I mean, you recently read a book telling you to do this to achieve your goals, and then you have this guy over here telling you to review this or that to become more productive. And then there's this article that you read that had a great strategy about creating a compelling vision. And there are all these great ideas about how to get clear, take more action, and get awesome results, but they're scattered all over the place. So how do you bring everything together into something that you can use and benefit from? Well, for the longest time, I was kind of confused about this myself. And I hacked together some different solutions that consisted of post-it notes and lists and calendar reminders that I thought were good enough. But the problem was that I still felt like everything was largely scattered and disorganized, and I knew that there had to be a better way. Then I stumbled across something that was the inspiration I needed for finding a real solution. I began reading Work the System by Sam Carpenter. Now, it's a bit wordy, but while reading it, I had an epiphany, or a revelation, and that is that to see consistent, awesome results in life, you need to create and use systems. Now, why is this true? Well, it's because systems give your brain exactly what it needs to take action and create results. It gives it clarity, it gives your brain order, structure, and a strong sense of belief of what you want to do, that what you want to do can be done. Now, when you can see the whole process of how something works and how all the pieces fit together to create a result, which is one important thing that a good system does, then your brain begins to believe that it can be done, and that makes it substantially easier for you to do it. So armed with this knowledge, I began thinking about a whole lot of ways that I could begin benefiting by creating and using systems in my life and business. And I thought about systems for managing projects that I work on. I thought about systems for managing my money. And I even thought about systems for how to plan meals and go to the grocery store. I mean, I was crazy about systems. And then one day I realized that a daily success routine, as I described earlier, was the perfect idea to develop into a system if there ever was one. And that was the inspirational spark that I needed to finally begin developing a real solution. So, the first step toward creating a daily success system was to define the goals of the system. What was its purpose? What elements did it need to include, and how did it need to work? Well, I determined that the ideal daily success system had to be something that could be completed within a reasonable time frame so that I could fit it into my busy schedule every single day. It had to be divided into logical steps that followed a specific sequence. It had to make use of the best success tools and strategies I knew about for creating results. It had to be interactive because, as we talked about earlier, you change by doing or by taking action. And it had to be expandable and customizable. And after testing several different approaches and doing some significant fine-tuning, I nailed it. And the result? Well, I call it the Day Launcher System. And here's an image of a poster that shows the entire system. And I'll talk more about this shortly. But I've worked hard to make the 7-step system the ultimate daily success routine. In a moment, I'm going to walk you through the entire 7-step Day Launcher process. But first, let me share with you the reasons why it works. In a nutshell, it works due to the power of immersion, which totally engages your thinking and actions in a way that has a subtle but profound transforming effect on you over time. In what ways? Well, it forces you to improve who you are and how you think a little bit more each and every day. It creates within you an action-based mindset that helps you to get things done. And it gives you a sense of clarity of where you're headed and who you want to become. And it puts you in a state of positive, high energy. This system is very action-oriented and can be completed in about 20 to 30 minutes. Now let me take you through a walkthrough of the 7-step Day Launcher process using the Day Launcher System Clarity Map. Alright, I'd like to take you now through a walkthrough of the 7 steps for creating change using the Day Launcher System and the Day Launcher System Clarity Map that comes with the system itself. So the 7 steps of the system are actually right here in the center. So we're going to go through these, and these are extra strategies and tips that you'll find on the top and the bottom, and these are discussed in the ebook, and great for reinforcing the actual results that you get from the 7 steps right here. Okay, but what I want to do in this walkthrough is just focus mainly on these 7 steps. And these 7 steps are going to take you about 20 to 25 minutes depending on how much time you have or what things you want to do in the 7 steps. This whole process is kind of customizable and flexible, so it depends on what you want to do with it and the kind of results and the speed of results that you want to get. But it can be done in about 20 to 25 minutes. And there's nothing strange about doing any of these steps. It's all about changing your thoughts, your actions, and your feelings, okay, and thus changing the results that you get. And that's what these 7 steps do. So let's go start through them and talk about each one along the way, okay? So the first step, step number 1, is to calm your mind. Okay, that's the first step in the day launcher process. And what this isn't anything strange or weird. It's just a matter of getting your mind, making sure that all the things about your bills and the stresses of life and all those things, getting those out of your mind. So you're not focused on those, but you're focused on calming yourself down, kind of getting into this calm state of mind, this clear state of mind, so that you can focus on the rest of the process. Okay, nothing strange here. And I'll give you some techniques and tips for doing that in the ebook itself. The next step is to express your thanks. Now once again, this isn't anything strange, but it's actually a pretty awesome exercise that you do daily. And the idea is to kind of get your mind to focus on things that you have to be thankful for. And there's 2 reasons for that, 2 main reasons. One, it's to kind of change your focus from maybe the problems that you might have in your life, as everybody does, but people tend to get overwhelmed by all the problems in their life because they focus on them so much. And so this exercise is to kind of help you to change your focus, change your perspective, and think about things that are actually going great in your life, things you have to be thankful for. Okay, so that's number 1. Number 2, this kind of enhances the calming of your mind. So when you're moving to expressing your thanks, you're kind of putting yourself and your mind and your body in this state where you feel really good. And that's what you want to be. You want to be in that state and experience it as you go through this process. And once again, this isn't anything strange. It's not anything weird. It's just getting into a good state of mind, positive state of mind, so that you can continue to go through the rest of the process. But experiencing this every day is going to motivate you to want to do it some more. It's kind of like exercise. When you exercise a lot, then you start feeling the benefits of exercise and you feel it, then you want to do it some more. That's what these first 2 steps help you to do as well, in addition to helping you to focus on positive things in your life. So that's number 2, express your thanks. And I once again give you some tips, some ideas, and some inspiration for how to do that in the ebook. So number 3 is to read something positive. Okay? And what I mean by this is that there are all kinds of sources, books, articles, whatever it may be, that you can read something and learn. You want to learn something new every day, something that inspires you, something that teaches you something, and because that is going to help you to grow a little bit more each and every day. And that's important. You want to become more today than you were yesterday, and the way that you do that is to read something that motivates you to act, read something that teaches you something, a new skill, or something or a way of looking at things that you never have looked at before. And that's what step number 3 helps you to do. So read something positive. Step number 4, write your discoveries. Now this is all about discovering things and paying attention to things in your life, lessons that can be learned, things that you've learned yesterday, things that you're going to pay attention to today. You're going to write these things down. That's an action. Getting your hands involved in this whole process is just another way of engrossing and immersing yourself into this idea of improving your life each and every day. So you're going to write something down. It's not going to take a lot of time, maybe 2 or 3 minutes. And I give you some questions, some things to think about in order to go through this step of writing your discoveries. Okay? And that's going to enhance your thinking, your thoughts, your actions, and the results that you get. And it's going to make you feel good too. So that's what step number 4 is. Step number 5, this is the biggie. This is something that I call review your targets. And targets are things like your mission statement, your goals, what your perfect day is, things that have a vision to you, or that you've given that have meaning to you in a visual way. Okay? And things that represent what you aspire to be or where you aspire to be. Places that you want to go. Like I said, that includes mission statement, your goals, a perfect day, your principles, the values that you want to live your life and your business by. These are all part of your target where you're heading with your life and your thinking and your business. And it's important to review these things, because if you don't, you kind of lose track of where you're wanting to go and who you want it to be. But if you're constantly reminded, as for example, one of these targets might be that you want to add value to other people's lives. Okay, that's a target. And that's expressed in one of these I call primary targets and secondary targets. So let's say that you want to really concentrate in your life or your business on adding value to people. Well, if you're constantly reminded of that, as the review of your target process, step number 5 does every day, you're reminded that you want to add value and you're thinking about this each and every day, that thought is going to eventually take hold. And it's going to move you to action. It's going to move you to the positive action that's going to create the result of adding value to people's lives. Okay? So that's just one small example of what reviewing a target for you would do for you in the overall scheme of using the process, the 7-step process. Okay? So you have a whole bunch of targets that you can review. I show you how to build those, how to create those, some inspiration for finding those in your own life, so that you can really get the benefit from this. And like I said, this is the biggest circle because it really has the biggest impact in the whole process. The next step, number 6, is watch something inspirational. We live in a world now where media is readily accessible, and things like videos. And if you ever watch a video, as I'm sure you have, videos can be a very emotional experience. If you find one that moves you, that makes you feel good, it can really have an emotional impact on you. So this step is all about finding something, or finding a series of videos, and I give you insight and tips on how to do this, that you can watch something for about 2 or 3 minutes and really be inspired by it. Okay, really feel good about it. And this is all building up to starting your day, because obviously you want to do this process in the morning sometime. Preferably. If you can't, then you do it later, but preferably in the morning. So you're building this up. Not only are you learning all these things, feeling great, and it's affecting, like I said earlier, your thoughts, your feelings, and then your actions, but you're building up to starting your day with a real push. And so you're going to watch something inspirational for number 6. Number 7 is the last step in the whole process, and I call that blast off. And when you think about a real launch in NASA, every time they launch a rocket, they have this term like we have liftoff or blast off or something like that, that kind of puts the cap on the whole process. And that's what this does. You're going to find a phrase, you're going to think of a phrase that has emotional impact to you. Think of a team that's about ready to go out and play against another team, like for example a football team. What do? They huddle together, they say go, 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 or whatever it may be. And there is a phrase that you can create that is personal to you, that has meaning, emotional meaning, that's going to really push you into a positive state and a state of taking action. And that's what step number 7 is all about. After you go through step number 7, the most important thing to do next is to do something of significance in your day. That means avoid checking your email, avoid Twitter, avoid all these things, whatever it may be that are low value things, and really focus on creating something of value, producing something of significance right after you use your blast off phase, after you say that, because it's going to move you right into a state where you're ready and able to really take some great action. Okay, so those are the 7 steps, a brief rundown of the 7 steps of the Day Launcher system that are going to help you to change your thoughts, your feelings, and actions to help you to really get awesome results. Okay, so that's it for this walkthrough. Thanks for watching.
Now let's look at some results. First of all, what do you think? After watching the walkthrough video, what kind of results do you think you would see if you were to do the Day Launcher process on a daily basis? I mean, think about it. How would this change your thinking, your actions, and your results? Isn't it true that when you look at anything that you're really good at doing right now, that the thinking, actions, and results that make it possible for you to do it so well came about because you practiced something on a consistent, regular basis? Your routine is what changed you, right? It changed your abilities, and it changed what it was possible for you to do. Could you have done it any other way? Well, most likely not. Then doesn't it make sense that when it comes to making positive changes that will turn you into a more successful person, a person of excellence, that a daily success routine is essential? Can you now see why simply reading more books and attending more seminars isn't the answer? Do you realize that this process is the secret of world-class achievers? I mean, think about what some of the most successful musicians, athletes, and writers do to stay on top of their game. Every one of them practices a daily routine of some sort, whether it's playing their instrument every single day, or shooting 1,000 free throws, or writing 5 to 10 pages. Why? It's because they all know and value the fact that consistent, small improvements compound to create life-changing results. It either makes them one of the best in the world or keeps them there if they're already on top. And it's a process that works. It's worked for thousands of years. This same process for creating powerful, sustainable changes in your life is the foundation of the Day Launcher system. Now let me share with you what effect using this system has had in my life. Okay, areas where I've seen positive changes include how clearly I think. Creativity comes easier, I make better decisions faster, I'm more aware of how the world around me works and the systems and the laws in it and the principles, and I use that knowledge to my advantage. And solutions to problems now come as a result of inspiration more than perspiration. My days aren't spent spinning my wheels and feeling overwhelmed at all the things that I need to do and trying to figure out how to do them. Instead, clearly defined outcomes and simple plans for making those outcomes a reality allow me to relax and simply take the next step. Now, instead of looking back on 8 hours of work and wondering why I only have 6 hours of results, I look at 6 hours of results and wonder how to spend the other 2, which is fantastic. I've also eliminated many of the things in my life that were doing nothing more than just kind of sucking away my valuable time, energy, and resources, and I've replaced them with doing things that matter, things that are memorable and fun, and that move me closer to the overall vision I have for my life. And because of an increased desire and awareness of how to share my knowledge and talents, I consistently experience one of the greatest joys that you can have as a human being, and that's contributing something of real value to others. The things I develop and create in my business are more unique and valuable than ever. And this means that I'm able to deliver quality solutions that people really want in ways that no one else is doing, which is the perfect recipe for a thriving business. It's increased my overall sense of freedom, satisfaction, and contentment, and it's improved how much fun I have every day. And isn't that what it's all about, is just having a lot of fun? And all these changes have come about naturally, not as the result of willpower, but due to small shifts in my thinking and behavior as a result of using the Day Launcher system consistently. Now I'd like to give you some more details about the system so that you're crystal clear about how unique, easy to use, and valuable the system really is. So let's first look at why it's so unique, okay? First of all, its focus is the system. So instead of focusing on teaching specific success principles like 99% of the other books and programs out there, the focus of the Day Launcher system is to provide you with a framework for helping you to create your own personal daily success routine. You benefit from the best of the best because the Day Launcher system is about bringing together all of the best life and business success tools and strategies developed over the years into an organized, efficient daily process that creates results. And you make it yours. The Day Launcher system can be expanded and customized based on your wants and your needs and the specific strategies that are important to you, no matter what source those strategies come from. Now let's talk about why it's easy to use. You're looking at it. This is the Day Launcher System Clarity Map. This Clarity Map is a powerful teaching tool for helping you to grasp the entire process of the system in a single glance.
As a matter of fact, a simple 3-minute review of this clarity map over the course of 5 to 7 days will crystallize the system in your mind to the point where it becomes natural and intuitive. And this is truly a unique feature of the Day Launcher system. Now, here's a look at what's included in the Day Launcher system package. First, there's the 134-page Day Launcher system ebook, which reveals in detail the entire system for launching your day. You'll discover why and how to create a simple but effective plan that gives structure and order to your day, allowing you to minimize those feelings of overwhelm and create forward motion throughout your day more easily. You'll learn how to set a powerful, positive tone at the beginning of your day by following a pre-launch checklist of do's and don'ts that are designed to ensure that you begin each day feeling great, focused, and in the right mindset. You'll get a detailed walkthrough of the entire 7-step launch process, including tips, ideas, and strategies for maximizing your results. And this is the heart of the entire system. You get an extensive but no fluff collection of some of the best ways that I've found in over 20 years of studying the topic for maintaining a clear mind and a healthy body. And finally, I'll share with you some strategies for generating a significant mental boost for pushing through those unproductive times throughout your day when you really need to keep your mind sharp and get things done. Next, you get the Day Launcher System Clarity Map. Now, this beautiful guide is not only the ultimate reference tool for how the system works, but it inspires you to actually use the system every time you look at it. Now, this map is delivered to you as a crystal clear, high-resolution PNG file, and it can be printed on any home printer at 8.5 by 11, just like any other picture or photo that you may have, or the Clarity Map file can be taken to a professional printer and printed at full size, which is 11 by 17 poster size, and then have them laminate it as well. Next, as a bonus, you get the Day Launcher System action sheets. Now, these are 7 beautifully designed action sheets that help you to implement important elements of the Day Launcher system in your own life. Once again, these are PNG files delivered to you in crystal clear high resolution, and they can be printed on any home printer at 8.5 by 11, just like a picture or photo, as I mentioned earlier, or they can be taken to a professional printer to be printed and laminated. Now that you've seen the complete system and what it can do for you, here's what to do next. Below this video, you'll find a link or a button to grab your copy of the Day Launcher system today for just $47. Now, does the quality of the product justify a $47 price? Well, the high quality and uniqueness of this system and its effectiveness justifies at least a $97 price. The only other question is, what's it worth to you to finally begin getting clear, taking more action, and getting great results? And of course, if you don't think it's as awesome as I say it is, or if you're not happy with the product for any reason in the next 8 weeks or 56 days, let me know and I'll get you a refund right away. In closing, I'd like to share with you a proven fact, and that is, if you continue to do things the way that you've always done them, you're going to continue to get the same results you've always gotten. If you're not happy with the results that you're getting now and you're ready to do something different, something that pushes you to improve who you are and how you think a little more each day, something that creates within you an action-based mindset that helps you to get things done, something that gives you a sense of clarity of where you're headed and who you want to become, and something that puts you in a state of positive, high energy, in other words, something that creates real results starting today, then click the link or button below to grab your copy of the Day Launcher system today for just $47. Thanks for watching.